Good evening from Te Poho o Rawiri Marae in Gisborne, the first place to welcome the Springbok rugby team of 1981. 25 years ago this month, that team, that tour, cast a shadow over New Zealand unlike anything the country had seen before or since. It was an election year. Prime Minister Rob Muldoon, defending a razor-thin majority, wanted to ensure the Springboks played in provincial cities like here in Gisborne. It'd be for the first time since 1965. South Africa's apartheid policy and New Zealand's consistent sporting contacts throughout the 70s had caused much consternation, and yet all pleas to cancel the tour fell on deaf ears. And so it was here, this marae, on July 19, 1981, that the Springboks had their first taste of New Zealand hospitality. I was here that night, and none of us here, I think, could ever have anticipated that this country was about to descend into near civil war. A war played out twice a week as the boks moved from city to city, protest group to protest group. The battle of tactics began here in Gisborne before that very first game against Poverty Bay. This from Robin James.
1981, and like the rest of the country, conservative rural Gisborne was divided over the tour.
It was serious, it was very serious. It split families, it split my family. Dad was a rugby supporter and he wanted the tour to go on. My sister had married a South African.
Gisborne cartoonist Murray Ball was an All Black trialist. His dad had been an All Black. Yet Murray and his brother were anti-tour. They were there on the day of the game, protesting. Murray carrying the Save Steve Biko banner. He was as surprised as anyone when the march took an unexpected turn and headed over the golf course towards the rugby grounds.
There was suddenly just a rising of noise from the ground. I was scared as hell.
Anti-tour met pro-tour.
It was more the feeling of hatred between both sides. It was strange for New Zealanders to feel so aggressive against New Zealand.
These were the days of innocence, the unknown. Protesters were yet to wear shields and crash helmets.
They'd call you by name, and followed by a line of expletives, which you know, wasn't pleasant.
We'd get to the top of the fence and they would beat us and kick us and throw us down the bank, and we'd get up and we'd go up again. And it didn't work that weekend, that time, but the following weekend in Hamilton it did, because we were much better planned.
Unlike Murray, Mariana Pittman was an out-of-towner, one of the anti-tour strategists.
We were horrified that the first welcome they would receive was from a marae and from our people we were related to. So it was a matter of great shame to us.
On the day before the game, Mariana and 3 others broke into the rugby grounds, littering the field with broken glass they'd got from Gary McCormick's house.
We were all really, really nervous because it was the first time that we'd decided to take action that was illegal and step over the line, and we knew we would be arrested.
After that stunt, her uncle didn't talk to her for 10 years. She was arrested 7 more times during the tour.
From Gisborne on in, it was, people thought, well, I'll get arrested. I will make a conscious decision to get arrested. And from there on, and thousands of people stepped over that line. So for me, it was a really significant thing.
She believes the relationships that were forged in 81 remain.
They were the relationships that came together over the hikoi as well, and have survived. Even relationships between Pākehā activists and Māori activists, those are still the ones that survive today, because a level of trust was attained at that time that never actually went away.
For local Murray Ball, the legacy of the tour didn't go away.
In restaurants you'd hear people talking rather over loudly behind you, mentioning your name and rugby and bastard and that sort of thing, which was uncomfortable.
He also had a share of hate mail after withdrawing Dog as the All Blacks mascot. But in the end, he believes the wounds have healed.
I think it was a trauma in our national life, and like most traumas, it hurts at the time, but you often come out stronger on the other side, and I hope we've done that.